Okay, shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just I'll just change my. Slide is visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Slides are visible.
Huh?
Yes, the slides are visible.
Okay, so today we'll see something called non-regular languages, and then we'll talk about pumping lemma for regular languages. So already we have seen several ways to identify regular languages. So regular languages are those languages which are recognized by a DFA or similarly NFAs or GNFA, because every DFA is a special case of NFA is a special case of, and then GNFA is a special case of in fact special type of NFA and the regular expression. So we have already seen that a language is regular if and only if it is expressed by a regular expression, and a regular expression gives rise to languages, and those are exactly the regular languages. But beyond regular languages, there are so many languages which are non-regular, because can you tell me why there exists a language which is not regular? Can somebody tell?
Because there are only countable many regular languages and the total number of languages are uncountable.
Uncountable. Very good, very good. So there are uncountably many languages which are not regular, right? So we'll see one such thing. So for example, equal number of zeros followed by equal number of ones. That language is not a regular language. We'll see. Like second language is 101, 101, equal number of zeros and 1. Then 101, 000, 1, 000, something like this. Then W has the same number of zeros and ones. So we'll see in this course so many languages which are not regular language. If language is regular, then we know how to show. That means if you can construct a DFA or NFA or a regular expression, then we can show that it is a regular language. But to show that it is not, so that means a language is not regular if there doesn't exist any DFAs to recognize this particular language. So number of DFAs are very large. Basically, this is countable number of this thing. So it is difficult. So we need to find out some reasoning how to show a language is non-regular language. So all regular languages can be generated by finite automata. States must be reused if the length of the string is greater than the number of states. Suppose a DFA has n states, then if you take a string of length greater than n plus 1, then some state has to be reused. That means you have to visit the same state again and again, because total number of states is n, so length is n plus 1. So you have to visit. If states are reused, there will be a repetition. Is this clear? Aaron, yes or no? Because one symbol will say starting from Q0, that is initial state, you take a symbol to go to one state. So n states are there in the DFA. So on a string of length n-1, you may be able to visit all distinct states, n states. But the length is n or more, then some states will be repeated, either through a loop going from same state to same state on a using a transition, or going to some other state and back to one of the visited state. So that is one of the observation. So let us see a non-regular language. Will show that the 0 raised to power n, 1 raised to power n, that means equal number of zeros followed by number of zeros followed by a same number of ones, n greater than equal to 0 over sigma is equal to 0, 1 is not a regular language. Let us see the reason. So we will prove by contradiction. Suppose we have managed to construct a DFA M for language L. So we argue something must be wrong with this DFA. So we should get a contradiction. In particular, M must accept some string outside L. So then we'll get a contradiction. So for example, suppose this is our M, and suppose M recognizes L and has n states. So what happens when we run M on input x is equal to 0 raised to power n plus 1 and 1 raised to power n plus 1? So since it is there in the language and M recognizes that language, so M must accept, because x belongs to L. But just a minute, something wrong, I think. Okay. Okay. But what will happen? This M has got n states. So the M has n states. So we have carefully chosen a string x of 0 raised to power n plus 1 and 1 raised to power n plus 1. So what will happen? What happens when we run M on input x? Since M has n state, it must revisit at least one of its states while reading 0 raised to power n plus 1. So you have got n plus 1 symbols, that is 0, 0, 0, 0, n plus 1 times, and you have got n states. So it is definitely it will definitely repeat. For example, here if you take 0 raised to power n plus 1, so since number of states is n, so after going to some states, distinct states, then it will come back and repeat somewhere, and then it will go to the final state. So it is up to 0 raised to power n plus 1, because 0 raised to power n plus 1 has n plus 1 symbols, total number of state is n, so there must be a repetition, and this is because of pigeonhole principle. So pigeonhole principle states that n plus 1 balls are put into n bins, then 2 balls will go to the same bin. So here the balls are zeros and bins are states. So less number of states and more number of balls, that is zeros. So if the DFA with n state and it reads n plus 1 consecutive 0, then it must end up in the same state twice. Is this clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So what will happen now? What you'll do, this is the case, right? Then DFA must contain a loop with the zeros. So what will happen? Once that loop, this particular loop is there, so 0 it goes to, and then it comes back to a particular state. So I can repeat this loop more than once. So in that case, what will happen? The DFA then also accepts strings that go around the loop multiple times. But so that means we have run the DFA on 0 raised to power n plus 1. Our string is 0 raised to power n plus 1 and 1 raised to power n plus 1. So up to 0 raised to power only zeros. Now it was repeating. So we add more zeros, 1, 2, 3 loops. Suppose the length of the loop is 10. So 10 more zeros or 20 more zeros we add it. So 2 times it will add and come back to the beginning state. And from there we run the remaining part, that is basically 1 raised to power n. Whatever the path it was taking to final state, it will go to the final state. So what is the string then? Now 0 raised to power m plus 1, 1 raised to power n plus 1. So m is greater than n. So the language is basically 0 raised to power n plus 1, 0 raised to power n, 1 raised to power n. But now it is number of zeros is more than number of ones. So hence this DFA is going to accept a string which is not there in the language L. So hence we get a contradiction. So this language L is not regular. That means there cannot exist a DFA. Is the proof clear?
Yes, sir.
Anybody for whom it is not clear? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But now this is just a method of contradiction and we'll prove it. But now we'll make it a general thing, some necessary condition for regular language. And this necessary condition is violated, then the language cannot be regular language. So we'll state the theorem. This is called lemma, called pumping lemma. Pump up. So some part of the string, if you see this place, so the loop part, some zeros we are pumping up. Or if you really, if you go once, so you can remove this also, and from that you take the other path to go to m. Still it will be accepted. It will be there in the language. So pump up or pump down the loop part. So still it will be there in the language. So that is what this pumping lemma says. So we'll see pumping lemma for push down automata also, context free language. So but this is pumping lemma for regular languages. So what it says the following: if A is a regular language, then there is a number p where this p, there exists a number p. And if S is any string in A of length at least p, that means greater than or equal to p, then S may be divided into 3 pieces. That means S can be represented as X, Y, Z. So concatenation of 3 strings satisfying the following condition.
Sir,
For
your
each,
slide is not visible.
yes,
Slide is not visible.
lights are not visible. Just a minute.
The slides are visible to me.
For
So we are still on that old slide, 0 to the power n plus 1, 1 to the power n plus 1.
now slides are moving.
No, sir.
Okay, I think there is a network issue. I'm just again just connecting it, right? Now it is fine.
Yes, sir.
Now second, the pumping lemma. But everybody, the slides you can get is the pumping lemma.
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
something like
Okay. So what this lemma says, now is a necessary condition for a regular language. Let A be a regular language. If that is the case, there exists a number P that we will call pumping length. The number P is called the pumping length. And if you take any string of length greater than or equal to P, then this string S can be decomposed into substrings X, Y, Z. That is X concatenation Y concatenation Z is equal to S, satisfying the following conditions. For I should have written the, okay, this cardinality of Y, the middle part is greater than 0, the length of the middle part Y is greater than 0, and this XY part is less than or equal to P. And I should have written the following thing, that I want to put this as a third part. It is the, because now you can see the changes in the slide.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
So now we are telling about X, Y, Z, the constant, and then third part is basically the conclusion. So the cardinality of Y, middle part is greater than 0, middle part is greater than 0, and this first two part length is less than or equal to P, right? That is the pumping length. And for each I greater than or equal to 0, X Y raised to power I Z, Y raised to power I means Y dot Y dot Y dot Y I times. So I is greater than or equal to 0 means you are removing Y, that is XZ. So in that case, pumping down, and I greater than 0, it is pumping up. So that's why it is called pumping lemma. So this, in this, say that we can get another string, that is X Y raised to power I Z, that will belong to the language A. Is the statement clear? Just have a look first and then you ask any doubt is there. So if it is a regular language, then there will be a number P that's called pumping length, and if any string of length greater than P you take, that can be decomposed as XYZ, satisfying the following property: cardinality of Y is greater than 0, that is, it is not a null string, and XY cardinality, that is length of XY, will be less than or equal to P, that pumping length, and the pumped string, that is X I raised to power Y raised to power I Z, must be in the language A. If the third condition is violated, that means this is the conclusion. So if this is, it cannot be written in this thing, that means these conditions are not satisfied, then the language cannot be regular language. So this is a necessary condition. So using the negation, we can prove that if it is, the necessary condition is not satisfied, then we know for sure that the string is not the language is not a regular language.
So
Yes?
what if the regular language only had strings which had finite length? So
No,
then,
no. See, how do you know the regular language will be finite length?
I mean, suppose the regular language only had the string 0.
Okay.
So then,
So
how?
what is the statement? If there exists a string S of length greater than P, then this thing holds. Got the point?
But P, so the existence of P is, I mean, what would be P? So P would be.
P will exist. Irrespective of whether it's finite or not finite, there will be a number P. If there is any other string greater than P, then only this thing will be valid.
Oh, okay, sir. Got it.
So the P will be number of states of the DFA.
Okay, got it.
P will be number of states of the DFA. Right? Number of states of the DFA. All right?
Yes, sir.
So let us see the proof idea of the proof. Pumping length is equal to the number of states in the DFA whose language is A, right? And if A accepts a word W with, in fact, the DFA not A, if M accepts a word W with W greater than P, then some state must be entered twice while processing W. This is clear because already we have seen through pigeonhole principle. We can prove it because length of W is greater than P, so P states are there. So in fact, greater than equal to P, that will be also correct because if Q0, if you want to go to Q1, two states, one symbol will be required to visit two states, right? If you go from Q0 to Q0, that means it is already repeated. So if you go to distinct states, so you require length will be exactly P minus 1. So the moment it will be greater than equal to P minus 1, greater than equal to P minus 1, then some state must be entered twice while processing W. Is this part clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So okay, so this is the case. So for example, this is the idea of the proof. So now, for example, if you start from Q0, then you come to the state. After visiting some other state, you come back to this particular state, and you go back to Z. So what will be my X? So till now, starting from Q0, all the distinct states it is visiting up to this. Now this is X, and from that state which is repeated, it will go to some other states and come back to the state. That portion I will take Y, and after that remaining part I will call it is Z. So since there is a loop, length of Y will be greater than 0, and since X and Y together will be less than equal to P, because X and Y will be less than equal to P, because all distinct part, all the states X, it is going to up to this part, middle part, it is all distinct. After that also it is got distinct and coming back to that particular state. So you require, so string length will be P or less, and after that it is the remaining part, it may repeat or may not repeat. So that part I call Z. So this is how I will decompose my string as X, Y, Z. Is this clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the idea. So we'll write it formal proof in the next slides. You will see, and length of this thing, and you can see that okay, this Y, if you repeat several times also, there is no issue. So X, you go to this particular state, and Y repeat. Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. I will come. Sorry, there are some. So this is the proof idea. All right. Hello, Pooja.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So now this is graphically an intuitive idea. Actually, this is the case, but we have to write it properly, formally, to complete the proof. So let x is equal to x1, x2, xm, m greater than equal to n is our pumping length, or I should have written P. X is in LM, and delta of Q0, Q1, Q2, QP is equal to QJP for all P. So in that case, for example, Q0, Q1 is equal to Q, delta of Q0, comma A1 will go to Q, state Q, J1. So if you see this one, A1, A2, AM, so it will go to Q0, and then after reading A1, it will go to QJ1, after reading A2, it will go to QJ2, and after reading AM, it will go to QJM, M greater than equal to N. So consider the first N symbols and first N plus 1 state of the above path, that is A1, A2, AN, and this path is Q0, QJ1, QJ2, QJ3, QJN. So since number of state is N plus 1 and total number of state in the system in the DFA is N, so it follows by Pigeonhole principle that there will be some JS and JT, they are same. That means two states will be same. So and S less than T. 0, the index S less than T less than equal to N. That means some state appears on this path twice, perhaps many times, but at least one part will be, it will appear. So there will be a loop basically. So for example, Q2 is equal to QS, and then after some part again Q2, then this portion will be basically a loop, that is the repetition. So in the loop, there all the states are distinct. So this is the first state. After QS is repeated, QJS is repeated, and the first state, that is QJT is equal to QJS. So the index JS is equal to JT. So if that is the case, so for example here QJS, and after that QJT, so basically this part is equal to this. So that is QJS is equal to QJT. So after reading AS plus 1 up to AT, it comes back to the same state. So this this AS plus 1 to AT all are distinct, that I call Y, and A1 to AS I call X, this is Y, and AT plus 1 to AN, that I call Z. So U is equal to A1 to AS, V is equal to S1 plus 1 to AT, and you can see that the length of V is greater than 1, so it is strictly greater than 0, and UV, so UV length is greater than equal to 1 and less than equal to N, and therefore this length of UV is less than equal to N, and if you take W is equal to AT plus 1 to AM, so now I can write this whole string as UVW. And now since V is, if you see this V part is this one, so I can repeat any number of times. So I put, or I can remove it also. So A1 to AS plus 1 to AT I number of times, AT plus 1 to AM is in LM for all I greater than equal to 0. So hence, now this is a formal proof of pumping lemma. In other words, when processing the accepting string X, the loop was traversed once, but it could be allowed to traverse as many times as desired, and the corresponding strings would be accepted as many times greater than equal to 0. So I can remove it, or I can keep on repeating it. So now this is the end of the proof. Is this proof clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the proof. So now how to use this proof to show the language is non-regular? So remember in this particular thing, in this case, 0, for example, 0, 0, 1, consider this particular string. So up to, for example, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q1, Q2. This is first n plus 1 state. So in this case, U is equal to 0. This is basically first, because Q0 is getting repeated. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q1. So that part is my Y, V. That is, you have the string 0, 0, 1, and W is equal to 0, 0, 0, the remaining part. So you can see, if you repeat it, 0, 0, 0, 1 raised to power I, 0, 0, 1 is in Ln for all I greater than equal to 0. So this is one example. And note, these are the observation or the consequences. Note that this doesn't mean that every string accepted by the DFA has this particular form. For example, 0, 0, 1 is in LM, but it is not of the form 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0 raised to power I, 0, 0, 0. So what is the meaning of this particular remark? Given a string of length greater than P, I can produce several other strings in the language, but not every string can be obtained in this particular fashion. So that is what remark 1 says. Is this clear? Yes? Okay. Second remark, that is, similarly, this doesn't mean that every long string accepted by the DFA has this particular form. That also is not correct, because it is given a string, of long string, many other string can be produced. Not every string can be produced in this particular fashion. And note, however, in this latter case, it could be similarly decomposed. But every string can be decomposed. Given one string, I can generate many other string. Long string greater than equal to P, I can generate many other string. But not every string can be generated in taking one string and then raised to power I, Y raised to power X, Y raised to power I, Z. Not will be in this particular form. So you have several such strings. Big strings will generate more strings, but not in a particular form. Is this clear? Okay. It may be the case that no X in LM has length greater than equal to N. What is this? What is the language? For example, in this case, some cases it may be the case that no X in LM has length greater than N. But in this DFA, can you have now 3 states are there? So what will be the case? What is the length? What is the language for this particular DFA?
Strings of length 1.
1. 0 or 1, right? 0 and 1. So these are the thing. So though it has got 3 states, the third state is not reachable, and length is, in fact, number of state is 3, but length is 1 only. So it is not the case. So you see the pumping lemma says, in case you have a string of length greater than equal to N, then only can these 3 conditions satisfy. It is not that it doesn't say that there exists a string of length greater than equal to N. It doesn't say like this. So in case there is a string of length greater than equal to N, that is number of states, then only something is said about with respect to that particular string, and certain string can be obtained from that. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this I can see. Okay. So let us take a non-regular language. So this is basically the same thing. that informal proof we have given, but now we'll use pumping lemma to show that 0 raised to power k, 1 raised to power k, k greater than equal to 0 is not regular. So by contradiction, suppose that L is regular, then there exists a DFA M such that L is equal to Lm. We will show that M accepts some string not in L contradicting to. So now suppose it has got n state, so I can choose a string of 0 raised to power m, 1 raised to power m, and m is greater than n. So in particular, I can take m is equal to n plus 1 as well. So any string greater than this, so n is the number of states. So you take m is far larger than n. So n plus 1 you can take, that will be also fine. So by 1 x is in L, by 2 x is in Lm. Note that machine accepts a language, not just okay. It's not visible. What is that? Okay. X equal to this, x is also in ln. Note that the machine accepts the language this. Okay, so let's see the next slide. Okay, so this x can be decomposed into u, v, w in such a way that the length of v middle part is at least 1, and first part and second part length will be less than equal to n, and u v raised to power I w is in lm for all I greater than equal to 0. So in this case, since x equal to 0 raised to power m, 1 raised to power m, and m is greater than n, so this v part will be something 0 raised to power j for some j greater than equal to 1. So I consider another string, so that means 0 raised to power m plus c. So I can repeat c number of times, c times. So v raised to power c, if I put it, then I will get 0 raised to power m plus cj and 1 raised to power m. So this also should belongs to ln. But if you see, number of zeros is not equal to number of ones, because c is greater than 0. So hence we produced a string which is now not in the language but accepted by the machine. So we have a contradiction. So such a machine is not possible. So L is not a regular language. Is this clear? Now use of pumping lemma.
Yes, sir.
So let us take another example. So zeros, this is sigma is equal to 0, 1, 2, and number of zeros, 0 followed by 1 followed by 2, and all are equal, k, k, k. So now we'll show that this is also not regular. So what will be the case? Now n is the length, pumping length. So you choose x is equal to 0 raised to power m, 1 raised to power m, 2 raised to power m. So m is greater than n. So you can choose m is equal to n plus 1 also should do. So in that case, done.
लास्ट वाले तुम्हारा ईमेल है वो आपकी ईमेल में आ जाएगा, तुम्हारा वो नगेट वाला जो ईमेल है वो आपकी ईमेल में आ जाएगा।
आज गोटे मीटिंग अच्छे 6:30 to 7:30 मुझे यार गोटे फॉरवर्ड कर मेल गोटे देख लो क्या देखो तू खाना खाई दे ओके जस्ट अ मिनट सॉरी सम ओके सो नाउ इफ यू सी zeros, first zero is n greater than n. So now this repeating part will come from 0. So we run the machine on 0 raised to power m only. So some part will be repeated, and now so u v raised to power I w is in lm. But now what will happen? So this I can, what will be my uv length equal to n. So together will now be part of all zeros. So u and v together will be part of 0. So V, if you pump it up, V is equal to 0 raised to power j. So UV is coming from only zeros, so V will be something 0 raised to power j. So now V raised to power I if you take, so it will be 0 raised to power I j plus I. So or C times if you raise it. So in that case 0 raised to power m plus Cj, 1 raised to power m, 2 raised to power m. So now number of zeros you can see it is strictly greater than m. So you are producing a string which is not in their language, and you are getting a contradiction. So this particular language also is not a regular language. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So sometimes it becomes tricky, but these two examples are straightforward. And this is basically one way to prove that a language is not regular. But if pumping lemma is satisfied, doesn't mean that the language will be regular. Language is regular, it is a necessary condition. So this condition is not sufficient. So we'll see another language. This number of zeros and number of ones will be equal to number of twos. So 0 followed by 1 followed by 2, and m plus n is basically number of twos. So in this case, only trick is that what in this case, suppose n is the pumping length, we are now choosing this m to be greater than n. So that is that there is no trick over here. It is straightforward of choosing my x. But in some other example, we'll see it depends on how to choose the string x. So in this case, because 0 is coming m times and m is strictly greater than n, so this v part also will be 0 raised to power j for some j. So this v part will be 0 raised to power j. So this also you pump it up, now it doesn't belong to the language, so you get a contradiction. So these three examples exactly the same trick, similar kind of string that we have selected, but it will not be the case. Let's see if I have an example, but you can see from the book. So there are like Swifter book, there are some example, and it becomes tricky also. It's not that easy sometimes, but in this case it is straightforward example. This example is clear?
Yes, sir.
Arguments are same for the three examples so far. So let us see 0 raised to power m and 1 raised to power n, m n greater than or equal to 0. So will it be regular or no?
Regular, sir.
This is regular, right? You have got q0 and q1. If it's 0, you stay in q0. 1, you go to q1. Q1 is a final state. Any number of times you repeat over there. But when it will be equal, so now whether how many zeros have passed, the DFA is not able to remember it. That means equality of m and n. That means equal number of zeros and ones. That part is not able. This DFA is not able to remember. But we'll see something. So how do you remember? Suppose if you see some zeros and ones, how do you remember? Yes, please. Somebody should answer this one. If I give you online some zeros and ones, how do you remember how many zeros you have seen?
Sir, we will need that many states.
No. Forget about DFA. How do you remember? You generally, if you are processing, if I say that, okay, what's your name?
Sir, Sneh Pushp.
What is your name?
Sneh Pushp.
Okay. So I give you 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. How many zeros I have given? How do you remember?
Sir, we will have to count it.
So you should use a counter, right?
Yes,
The
sir.
moment I say you initiate with 0 and counter equal to 0, the moment I say 0, you increment it. Next 0, increment it. Next 0, increment it. Right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now I'll give a sequence of zeros and 1, but without using a counter, how do you say that whether they are equal or not? Some BTech students should answer this one. You know the required knowledge you have, now you have to apply and tell quickly one sentence.
So did we just not prove that equal number of zeros and ones is not regular? So we
No. I'm forget about the language and DFA. I am now telling you I'll give 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, whether they are equal or not. So you are not required to, you cannot use a counter. So how do you check whether they are equal or not? At the end, I'll ask whether the number of zeros and ones are equal or not. How do you answer?
is the sequence written in this format? I mean, first we have consecutive zeros, then we have consecutive ones.
Yeah. Zeros followed by ones.
So we can start counting from front and back end.
काउंटिंग मिक्स या अभी तो मैंने ऑनलाइन बोल दिया ना कहाँ से है 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 आपको कहाँ है रिमेम्बर अभी बोल दिया ऑनलाइन वाला जो है ना ये सीक्वेंस में जा रहा है एक जाने के बाद और दूसरा आप देख नहीं सकते ऑफलाइन है तो आपको लिख के देंगे तो बार बार आप देख सकते हैं है कि नहीं
Sir, if
इट इज
sir, if zero,
इट इज अ स्ट्रीम व्हिच इज गोइंग okay so you are not able to apply but it is very easy one so let me so this PhD student and MSc student do you know there is something a stack
Yes, sir.
the MSc student and PhD student they should reply
Yes,
Do you-
sir.
Yes, sir.
stack है ना data structure one stack is there for example plates are there right
Yes, sir.
so one after the other you put on the top and if you want to remove you remove a plate from the top only not middle right so the moment you find if you say 0 0 0 you keep on putting in the stack the moment is 1 1 1 you pop the zeros and now after the sequence is over the stack is empty again then you know that equal number of zeros in 1 isn't it
Yes, sir.
okay so yeah that's good good motivating example so we'll use if you can equip the DFA with such a thing called stack then that machine will be capable of recognizing 0 raised to power n 1 raised to power n isn't it so we'll introduce in the next later on such a machine that is called push down automata so automata NFA kind of thing plus it will have some extra features called memory that is called stack so it can now see you can push it or pop it or so and then you can check whether it is empty or not so this much information will be given and this is this length is now not bounded it is unbounded right so such a capability is given to NFA so we'll call it a push down automata and in that case that particular language will be accepted okay okay this is a different one now the second example 0 raised to power m 1 raised to power n m getting equal to 0 m is equal to n square m is equal to n square will it be regular or not
Not.
Not. Because now you can choose a larger string, right? And then you can use the pumping lemma to show this particular thing. Because m is greater than n, so zero v, the middle part will be only zeros, and if you pump it up or pump down it, so initially this m was, sometime you have to pump up, sometime you have to pump down. So if you pump up, there there may be chances that by after pumping up something will come up. Okay, m is equal to n square. It will not be case because n is fixed, right? M and n. So if you pump up, it will be initially m is equal to n square. So this will be m plus some c kind of thing. So that cannot be n square. So this language will be non-regular language. 0 raised to power m, 1 raised to power n, m is greater than n. Will it be regular or not regular?
Not regular. Sir, you're muted.
The problem was that I think connection went off. Now you can see the slides, Pooja.
Yes, sir. Visible now.
Okay, so I asked about the last question, some PhD student. Room key or Soumyasri.
Yes, sir.
So now can I use pumping lemma to do this thing so that it's not a regular language.
So I think this is regular.
This is not a regular language, I'm telling you. But can I use pumping lemma? See the pumping lemma first of all statement. I'm not understand. Yes, I think somebody, yeah, because that you mute it. I think somebody because it's okay. So you just see this. What is the pumping lemma? It says. Huh?
It is necessary condition, not sufficient.
No. Listen first. What the I greater than equal to 0. When I is equal to 0, what happens? I told you, you didn't pay any attention. I is equal to 0 means it is pumping down. You are removing Y, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I greater than 0, that means pumping off. So in that case, length will increase. I greater than I is equal to 0 means that particular loop you are removing. So you go to the state and going again coming to that state through a loop. So that loop part, a cycle part, you remove it. So the length of X will now come down. So if you see this particular example that I have asked, so I can show that take suppose P is the pumping length. So I choose 0 raised to power m, 1 raised to power n, and m is strictly greater than P. So now this can be written as x, y, z, and xy length of xy will be less than or equal to P. So this y will be 0 raised to power j. So 0 raised to power j. So okay, just a minute. Okay, it will not be that straightforward. 0 raised to power j if you pump down. So okay, so what will happen? I see since m is greater than n, I choose a string 0 raised to power n plus 1 and 1 raised to power n, and n is the pumping length. So n is the pumping length. So 0 raised to power n, 1 raised to power n. So UV, that is xy cardinality, will be less than or equal to P, that is n. So that means y will be some zeros. Now if you remove these zeros, I is equal to 0 if you take, so it will happen that this number of zeros will go down by at least 1. So because middle part is at least 1, so at least one symbol will go. So it will be at best 0 raised to power n, 1 raised to power n. So now you can see that this will not be there in the language, hence a contradiction. Now you got it or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you have to choose the string properly, X, the X, Y, Z, that is U, V, W, that means X. You have to choose pumping length. You have to choose pumping length is there, then you have to choose the string properly. Sometimes you have to pump down, sometimes you have to pump up. Okay. Now let us see one statement. Will not go in detail proof. Let M be a DFA and LM is finite. If then what will be the case when the language is finite, recognized by the DFA is finite? If and only if every string in the language is strictly less than number of states. How do you know?
Well, if there were equal to number of states, then we can use pumping lemma to create an infinite length.
Yeah, infinite length. You can now keep on repeating. So you can, because it is greater than the number of q, so it can be decomposed because it's a regular language. So I can pump it up, so that there will be unbounded. The length will be large, so it will not be finite. So length 1. So 1 times I can pump, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, n times. So any counter number of times I can now pump it. So this language will be infinite. So you can see this part. You can see later on, but this is basically the idea. And this is one part. If LM is finite, then cardinality of X is less than Q, right? Because if cardinality X is greater than Q, then you have a problem. LM cannot be finite. So LM is finite, then cardinality of X is less than Q. And the other part, because no state is repeating, because once you repeat, there is a loop, you can do it. So all the path from the starting state to final state, any of the final state is basically simple path. So in that case, you can see it will be a tree kind of thing, right? A directed tree. So there will be a unique path from, there is a unique path from a node to any other node, because there is no cycle in this case. So along with, so you can have finite number of strings that can be there in the language. So that is the other part, right? Now let us see another thing. LM is infinite if and only if there exists x belongs to L such that cardinality of x is greater than q, because we can pump it up, keep on pumping it up, and then we will produce it. So one part is clear. So LM is first part, if part is clear, only if part. By contrast, suppose LM is infinite, but that there is no x in LM such that cardinality of x greater than or equal to q. So in that case, it follows that each x in LM has length less than q. Since the number of states in q and the number of input symbol are both fixed, it follows that there are at most finite number of strings. Hello. मैंने क्लास चाली थी मैं 5:30 के आसपास करूँ नहीं बाहर जो मोर क्लास चाली थे मुई गोटे क्लास करूँ अब मुई 5:30 रे आसली सेनके हां कोई दी फोन कर दी हां बुलाबुली करथो आ मते एटा कर देबो मैं फोन कर हां 5:30 रे मोर रूम के आसबे ओके okay so now this proof is clear.
Yes, sir.
So it will follow from this, because finite, it will follow from this also. So you can see this one. Okay. The LM is non-empty if and only there exists x in LM such that the cardinality of x is less than mod of q. Because if there exists x in LM such that this condition is there, if there exists some x in LM such that mod x is less than q, then definitely one string is there, so it is non-empty. But if it is non-empty, then there exists if the other part by contradiction, suppose LM is non-empty, but that there exists no string x in LM such that mod of x is less than q. It follows that all string the cardinal it is greater than or equal to mod q. So let z be the string of shortest length in LM such that mod z is greater than n. N is the basically mod q. By the assumption, so the by pumping lemma, so we can pump down u v0 w. That means we can produce another string shorter than n. So, but we have taken that z is the shortest string, so we have a contradiction. So we produce another string which is less than, that is uv, the uw, that is middle part. I can remove pump down and produce another string which is shorter than this. So this will be the case. Fine. It is clear or no?
Yes, sir.
So let me see. Okay. So I think up to this part, and then I'll stop. Right. So that means we have seen the pumping lemma and some applications in the test book, Sipser book. There are few examples. You should have a look. And now I think Pooja, we should prepare it, and by tomorrow we'll upload a tutorial sheet of this particular chapter. So only 2-3 things are left. One is Myhill-Nerode theorem is one, and then minimization of DFA. These are the two topics that I'll cover. and that will be end of regular languages. Then we'll move to context-free languages and the push down automata. All right. So this slide I'll upload it, and then previous slide I have already uploaded, and tute sheet maybe by tomorrow we'll definitely upload it, and maybe one lecture after that. After this two more lectures. Basically after that we'll solve the tute sheet, and then all the problems or doubts of this particular regular languages. Then we'll move to the other things. Fine. Okay. And then after that we'll have quizzes also. And now, Pooja, how many what is the attendance of the students? You take a screenshot.
Yes, sir. 35 now.
35 now. So I think, yes, let me tell all of you, since this attendance is very poor, and then IT rule is that without attending you cannot just pass the course. That means you are not doing the course. So here after that 20 marks I have given the take home assignment. I will now have the quizzes in the class only. Few small thing that will conduct 10 minutes, and you have to upload. So I will just change this policy, and because of this thing I will send a mail regarding this thing. All right.